one day he came over to the house. It was my garage of Brandywine. And he had an idea that he wanted to make engine mounts for his 34 Ford panel truck. I want to make these engine mounts. What do you got laying around? I said, well, I don't know. You can go out to the scrap bin and look. And my head's back down with my eye shield on and I'm welding. So he's wraggling around and he's scrounging around. And he comes over and he throws all these pieces of metal on the bench. Rat-a-tat-tat. I said, oh, so you found some stuff. He goes, well, this is what I want to do. So he takes his little piece of soapstone and he marks the stuff out. And he goes, where's the torch? And he goes out and he clamps all the stuff up and he cuts these pieces out, puts them all together and says, yeah, I'll talk to you later. He throws all the stuff in a cardboard box. And he speeds home. And this is probably like, I don't know, 6, 7. It's in the summertime. It's dinner time. It's a Saturday. The next morning, and Loretta and I weren't particularly early risers. The next morning, somebody's banging on the door. It's like 6:30, Sunday morning. Banging on the door, and she looks at me and says, who the hell is that? I said, I don't know. I get up, I throw my pants on, I walk to the side door, I open up the door, and here's Danny standing there with his little cap on and his leather jacket. It was cool because it was a summer morning where it was cool. He had this whole cardboard plethora tray of McDonald's breakfast goodies, cups of coffee, little hash browns, egg McMuffins, all this stuff. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, it's breakfast. It's time to get up. Let's go. Weld, we got to weld. And I went, holy God. I said, okay. You know where the key is? Go ahead. Open up the garage and I'll be out in a minute. I went back in. She goes, who is it? I said, it's Danny. She goes, what the hell is he doing here? I said, he's ready to go to work. And she rolled back over to go to bed. I put my clothes on. I went outside. He had all these little pieces that he had stayed up all night. Well, since he had left my garage the previous day, at about dinner time, he went home, ground them all by hand. Little brackets with French curves, a thing of beauty. They just needed to be all welded together. He says, I couldn't wait any longer. I was up all night. I never slept. I sat up in bed all night while Jan slept, chain smoking cigarettes, because all I could think about was welding these things together. I couldn't sleep until I get this done. So he says, here, hold this and clamp this and I'll grab this. Now tack there and do this. And then they were all tacked and he goes, now weld them. And I welded them all up. I didn't get the egg McMuffin. I didn't drink the coffee. There wasn't any time for that. He's like, right on me. And he looks at me, he goes, that's great. It's just what I wanted. And he shoves them all in a box and tears off running towards his van. Runs to the van. Doesn't even say see you later. Jumps in the van and speeds off in a cloud of dust. The man was driven. Some people call that being obsessed or an obsession. I call it being driven. But it's the mind of the perfectionist, and it's the mind of the creator. It's the mind of invention.